Hello and welcome back, Sunshine Fam, to another YouTube channel video. My name is Chloe. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust this here. And I want to welcome you to the Sunshine Fam. So, while I wasn't able to get this video out. Sorry about the background noise. I've got my air conditioner on. We're still under a heat warning, or heat advisory, because we've been under this pocket of 90-degree heat with 100-degree heat indexes for over a week now. This, I think, is going to be the last day of the heat wave. Not that I mind it. I hate the cold. It's the warmth I don't like. Or I hate the cold. It's the warmth I like. Can't talk right. The reason I did not put this video out on Friday like I said I was going to, I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I couldn't do it, but I had been dealing with a bad tooth for over a month. It was very sensitive to cold, which is why I'm talking kind of funny a little bit today. So on Friday I had the tooth pulled, and it was a molar right back here. So, and then of course I had to work on the weekend. And so this is the first day that I've had the opportunity to actually sit down and make a video. So the video I meant to make on Friday is actually today's video, obviously, because it's part 2 of YouTubers I follow and shoutouts, which I originally made back in 2019 in a totally different apartment. And I wanted to do like an updated version of it because I've got many more subscribers now that I did back then. And for some reason on my latest subscriber list, I don't have all 320 of you listed. So I'm only going to call out the ones that YouTube is allowing me to see. But for some reason, one of my subscribers that is one of my newest subscribers, my newest Sunshine Fam, is not on this list, but his name is Joe. So Joe, a shout out to you. And per Joe's request, I'm going to try to make this one a little bit shorter. He seems to think that my videos are way too long. So please leave your comments below and let me know if you like the longer videos or the shorter videos. He thinks I should make shorts, but I can't think of a subject that is a short video, just a couple minutes. So let me know what you think. Do you want longer videos? Do you want shorter videos? Leave your comments below. And of course, if you're new to my channel, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. And like my videos, share my videos for those that might be interested in the content that I bring to you. So let's start with shoutouts. And a lot of these I've already called out recently, but I'm just going to give the shout outs to those people that are on my list, which I think is about 50 of you, maybe. So aside from Joe, we've got Valentina ZXV, John Hilborn, Becky O'Mara, Katie Parker, Becky Mayer, Mr. B, Joanne Thomas, Arturus Vermontis, Vrubliauskas, maybe? Aaron J., Jude Yeager, Gabor Balai, I think, Flavia Vargas, Arnaud Peffer, Amelio Castillo, Cherish Sajulan, Schoolgirl123. I'm just going to spell this out because I'm not sure quite how to pronounce this, if it's supposed to be pronounced. It's Noichi 10. Mommy, I Miss You, Tasia, EXD Fishing, Mama Morgan, Crash Records, Maria Silva, Elena J, Bang No Not Channel, you've been with me for a while, Mr. Craze, Juan Daniel Alpazar Ovares, Maritza del Conceição, Conceiceau, Sab J, Omar Baptista, Calfoun KLF, Kolf, I'm not sure, Miguel Manzo, Francesco Serra, Francisco Sola Agiz, Maria Nelsie Reichert. Oh my goodness. A lot of these are like Spanish names. I don't know how you pronounce the J's, if I'm supposed to pronounce it as a J for English or an H. So, Valdo Santos, UJam 208, Kevin Van Kuijke, I don't know, Kuijck, William Crazy Will 44 Monks, Megan Gramling, Dauda J, I think, NJIE, Bill Hoff, Amanda Gucci, Andrew Knutson, Silver Star, of course, and Jill. And some other people that are not on the list that I know watch me are John, we call him J-Man, or on Silver Star's channel he calls himself Pokey John, and Veronica, who I haven't given a shout out to in a long time, and Catherine, don't know if she still watches, but those are the ones that are on my list. So if I go back to, let's see, how do I, subscriptions, maybe I go to subscriptions, okay. So people that I am subscribed to, some of them I don't think I'm subscribed to them, but I've watched them, because there's like, although it does say subscriptions, most relevant, new activity, okay. Alright, so some of you guys know, if you've watched my videos in January and February when all that craziness was going on here in the Twin Cities, I watch Luke Beasley, and what he does is, he is a 23-year-old genius in my opinion. He does a lot of political videos, and then his videos are about an hour long, maybe a little bit longer than an hour for non-subscribers, and then he does one, it's called the Luke Beasley Show, and then he does one for members that they call Booze in the News. So they open it up they do it for like an hour. In the first half hour, I haven't really watched those, but for the first half hour they do it for non-members, and then they close it off to non-members and just do the rest for members. And apparently they do a lot of drinking and talk about the news, so it sounds like it might be kind of a funny thing to listen to. But he does a lot of political news on his channel, which is very, very insightful. Sometimes it's quite comical, because he speaks the truth about Nicolae Carpathia and all of the people in the administration currently. And he puts it in what Dr. Phil calls common sense alert. So I watch a lot of him. I watch a lot of Say Yes to the Dress, but I'm not subscribed to them, I don't believe. Amy McDonough Guitar, she is from Ireland, and she was a fan of another YouTuber that I don't watch so much anymore, called Trilogy Media. I said that in my original YouTubers I follow and shoutouts, that Trilogy Media are young actors. One is from Russia, one is from LA. And they're small bit actors, so it's nobody, you likely have never seen anything that they've been in, but their names are Art Kulik and Ashton Bingham is the other one. Ashton was the one that actually started it, and when you get like pop-ups on your computer, or you get calls from the IRS, he originally started it many years ago by calling these scammers back, because they usually are from India and they're trying to scam you out of your money, and he would waste their time by coming up with a bunch of BS to try and keep them on the line so they couldn't scam other people. And they have become so popular that, number one, I don't know if they're really doing scam calls so much anymore, because like I said, I don't really watch them much. I'm still subscribed to them, I believe. But I don't think they do much scamming calls anymore, but they do kind of what John, what's his name? Gosh, I'm drawing a blank. But he was the guy I'm talking about is like big in the news, and he goes to like sting houses to try and set up old people that are trying to hook up with young children. I keep thinking Jon Stewart, but that's not the right John. I can't think of his name, and you guys are probably all thinking of who I'm talking. You guys are probably all yelling in your devices of who I'm talking about. But he's done like different shows, and I know I've talked about him before too, so I watch him too once in a while. But Amy McDonough ended up like messaging on Trilogy Media and got Ashton's attention, and they eventually met up, and long story short, they ended up getting married. So she came to live in America to support Ashton, and Amy recently released a CD because she's a singer and she plays guitar, obviously, Amy McDonough guitar, and she also Irish dances, but she does travel back to Ireland quite frequently. So so I do watch her from time to time. Some of these people I don't think I'm subscribed to, but for some reason they're on my list. Max Bet Omar. Oh, maybe that's from Omar Gosh TV. I used to be subscribed to Omar, but I think I unsubscribed to him because he used to do like haunted videos where he'd go to abandoned locations and like do investigations, haunted and paranormal investigations and stuff like that. Now he's kind of grown up quite a bit, and he doesn't do so many haunted videos anymore. He does videos on like gambling. So I think that's where I've got Max Bet Omar. Max might be a friend of Omar's, and they do like gambling videos and stuff like that, where they go to casinos and show you how they win all this money and stuff. And then Omar Gosh TV is his other channel, and he used to do videos on his farm. I don't know if he still does that. I don't really watch him so much anymore, but he has a farm in northern Florida, I believe, and he has like a bunch of animals on the farm, so he talks about his animals and stuff like that. Forrest Frank is a Christian singer, and I believe I am subscribed to him. And many of you might know him by a song. Again, I'm drawing a blank. I was just listening to Mary Poppins Returns, so those songs are going through my head. But oh Lord, I need you now more than ever. Would you put my heart back together? That song was sung by Forrest Frank. And people had done this, they had made up this dance to the song. And now he's got a song that's about how thankful he is for his blessings. And he's got shoes on his feet, and he's got a phone and clean water and a roof over his head and a nice bed and stuff like that. And he's talking about how he wakes up every morning and thanks God for all of the blessings that he has. I can't think of the name of the song, but now people have made up a dance to that song as well. But he's a Christian singer. John Strickland, you don't have any content, so I'm not necessarily subscribed to you, but you are subscribed to me, and I gave you a shout out. Just Me STKK, Perhaps you're subscribed to me and I just didn't have you on my list. Some of these people I have looked up, and a lot of my subscribers don't have content, but they are, they do have YouTube channels. They just don't have content. So, like I said in past videos, if you want to like comment on people's videos, I think you have to have a YouTube channel, but you don't necessarily have to have content. So I think a lot of these people that are subscribers to me are like that. One person I know I mentioned in my last video, I did check out his videos, and he had a couple of them. One of them was like a rant where it was quite disturbing, this rant, and it's like he was coming down off of an alcohol high or something. I don't know. CJ Faison Vlogs, he's changed his name. CJ Faison, for those of you that are into NASCAR, might sound familiar. He used to be a NASCAR driver. He owns a lot of different businesses, including one called Delaware Auto Exchange, where they do auto auctions at his business in Delaware. And he and his dad had started it, and sadly his dad passed away a couple of years ago, I think it is. And he recently got married. Like, he's been married just over a year. He's got a baby. And he still hooks up with his friend Sonny Deeds, who used to be a wrestler. I don't know if he was like a big time wrestler or not, maybe, you know, local wrestler or whatever, but he does videos with Sonny Deeds, and they used to do haunted videos. I think he still kind of does that. He's bought a couple of abandoned places, like a farm, a couple of farms, and he does videos at his farms and stuff like that. I don't know if he still has those or not. I don't really watch him too often, but some of his videos are pretty funny. He also does stock racing, and that kind of thing. Chelsea Maxine, I sometimes catch her videos, and Chelsea Luna. She's got two different channels. I don't really, I mean, I am subscribed to her, but I don't get a lot of notifications, so I don't know if she puts out videos all that often. But she's a book author. Not sure if she's really a famous book author like J.K. Rowling, but she has written books before, and she kind of gets together with friends. She used to do like van life videos and stuff like that. She's kind of a young gal. She was a friend of Omar, and then Omar and Chelsea and a guy named James the Fam used to all be really close. I mean, there was like a whole bunch of them. I called them the Florida crew because they all lived in Florida. And Chelsea had dated James the Fam for a while, and then they kind of broke things off, and it sounded like it was like Chelsea that just kind of wanted to go off on her own. She was having some kind of issues in her personal life and everything, and so they split amicably, but then I don't think that they talk much anymore, and so she doesn't really associate with Omar anymore. CJ was also kind of part of them too, even though he was from Delaware. So yeah, I follow kind of Chelsea. Silver Star, of course, you know, is my daughter. She started making videos again about Pokemon. She does furry videos because she's a furry. C's Crazy Crossroads, he was also part of that Florida crew later on. I think he was more of a friend of UGUE, which was Urban Ghost Urban Exploration. I don't really watch them anymore because those two guys kind of broke off. And C's Crazy Crossroads, his name is Chris, and he kind of started making his own YouTube videos. He doesn't really make videos too much anymore. He, again, was also part of the paranormal stuff, and they would go off and go to abandoned places and do paranormal videos. I don't really hear much from C's Crazy Crossroads anymore, so I know he was dealing with some health issues, so he stopped doing videos. The Holy Walkers is another one. I don't think I'm subscribed to them, but they were also part of what I call the Florida crew. Grant Wilson from Ghost Hunters has a YouTube channel that he calls What the Fetch, where he does paranormal. Perpetuum Jazzla and Baseless TV. Those two kind of go together. Oh, and there's a third channel for CJ Faison too. He's got 3 different channels. CJ Faison Vlogs. Or no, so CJ Faison Vlogs, and then there's CJ Faison. So he's got 2 different channels. But Perpetuum Jazzla and Baseless TV, they are a group, an a cappella group in Slovenia. So Perpetuum Jazzla has about 50 members, and then Baseless is like a handful of people that belong to Perpetuum Jazzla that broke off on their own, that do like a smaller group version of a cappella choir and stuff. So you can check those out. Alonzo Larone I have not watched in quite a while. He was the one that did get a dictionary. Chris Fleming, of course, I watch him. He has his own YouTube channel at Chris Fleming Paranormal, not the comedian, but the paranormal investigator. Scott Marcus Ghost Stories. His channel is at What's Your Ghost Story. So check him out. I met him at a Paracon in Chicago. So I wouldn't say we're buddy-buddy or anything like that, but once in a while I'll see him on Facebook and I'll chat with him and stuff like that. So we're acquaintances, I guess you could say. And then there's also the Oh My Gosh Vlogs. So I don't know if he still has that one, but again, I unsubscribed from that. So those are YouTubers that I follow. And the shout outs of people that are subscribed to me, some of them. Now, one thing I want to bring up, and I'm going to try to make this a little bit shorter for Joe, but one thing I want to bring up, I did talk a lot about politics in January and February when, for years I didn't follow politics, I didn't care about it, probably should have, but I didn't care about it because it didn't really affect my life personally. But then when I found out about Renee Good's killing from Sea-Dog, who is my son, he does not have a YouTube channel, by the way. Thought he did, but he doesn't. But when I found out about Renee Good's killing, I started doing research about all these ICE raids and stuff like that. Then, a couple weeks later, Alex Preddy got shot and killed. Now, things have kind of settled down, right? Not so much. Because Sea-Dog, again, put me onto a news story two news stories that happened within the last couple of weeks. One out of Houston, Texas, and one out of Maine, where 2 ICE agents murdered 2 innocent people that they weren't even after. I haven't done too much research about this, but the fact that I shouldn't even say the fact, I'm being told that one of these people, and Luke Beasley even brought this up as well as Jon Stewart, which I do watch Jon Stewart a lot too, and The Daily Show. Not subscribed to him, but I watch a lot of his videos, which are really kind of funny. They are saying that I think it was the guy in Maine. He was from Colombia, I want to say, and it sounds like he had his 3-year-old child in the car when he was shot and killed. They claim that it was another Renee Good type situation where the agent felt like he was in danger because the guy was trying to run him over. And it sounds like people that were on the scene said no, he was trying to avoid being caught because it wasn't even him that ICE was after. So again, Renee Good. And he didn't die right away because people were able to tend to him after he was shot. I'm not sure where on his body he was shot. Like I said, I haven't been doing any research on this. But he was shot, and before he died, he said, I was trying to get away. I wasn't trying to hit him. I was trying to get away. And this came from the guy that was killed. So, yes, people can lie, but if you're sitting there dying, why would you make up a lie? I guess you could. But, again, I go back to what I was saying back in January and February, where people that are no longer in office, which is the one good thing that I believe Nikolai Carpathia has done this year, is getting rid of Kristi Noem and Pam Bondi. Now he just needs to get rid of Carolyn Levitt. I wish she never would have come back. But maybe she's next on the chopping block. Don't really hear much about Kash Patel anymore. But getting back to the subject at hand, that was the one good thing that Nikolai Carpathia did, was to get rid of Kristi Noem and Pam Bondi. But Kristi Noem was always making it sound, and the administration was always making it sound as if, including Greg Vivino, who now is retired, shortly after he got booted out of Minneapolis and went back down to California, and within a month he retired. Oh, poor baby, he got demoted. But these people were all making it sound as if all these foreigners that Biden let in were the only ones that are committing heinous, monstrous crimes. And what I said in those videos 4 months ago, 5 months ago, was there are people that are Americans that committed the same types of crimes. In one case, I don't remember if it was Kristi or Pam that was talking about, oh, this guy didn't have a driver's license and he was driving without a driver's license. How many people out there are driving on an expired driver's license that are Americans? That's a reason to take them into custody and deport them out of the country because they don't have a valid driver's license, or they don't have a driver's license at all? Are you kidding? That's not really a heinous crime. Sorry, Kristi Noem. Sorry, Pam Bondi. Are you kidding? Now, murderers, yes. Those are bad people. But Stephen Paddock from Las Vegas, look how many people he murdered. Anybody who has committed mass shootings, not just school shootings, but think about the theater shooting from the Batman movie. Think about, I can't think of any other, Las Vegas, yes. But a lot of them are school shootings, but not all of them are school shootings. You know, look at people that are in our military that have gone berserk, and they've done shootings on the bases where they're being trained. Yes, they were caught, or they killed themselves, but they were not foreigners. Think about that. Then they talk about rapists, people that rape people. These people that have come in from Venezuela and these, all these foreign countries that Biden let them in. How about Harvey Weinstein? How many women did he rape? Think about Jeffrey Epstein. How many underage girls did he traffic out or rape himself? Were they from another country? No. What about Ghislaine Maxwell? She came from another country, and yet she went from a prison to what they call Club Med or whatever they call it, to almost like a 5-star hotel prison. She's from France, I believe. Why isn't she being deported? She was helping Jeffrey Epstein. Why is our tax dollars going to keep her in our prison systems? What about a guy named Ramzi Youssef? He's responsible for the 93 bombing of the World Trade Center. Your tax dollars are going to keep him in a high security prison in Colorado, along with Moussaoui, what is his name? Moussaoui was his last name, but he was arrested here in Minneapolis as part of the 9/11 thing, before 9/11 happened. Zacarias Moussaoui, that's his name. They are foreigners. They are in a prison in Colorado. Why aren't they being deported out of our country? Think about that. What about the guy that attempted to assassinate Trump? Any one of them. He's had a lot of different assassination attempts on him. What about the one from recently, like a month or so ago, when they were at that dinner or something, and that guy broke through? I don't know if he was foreign or not, but he was gonna try to kill the president and, like J.D. Vance and all these other political leaders and stuff. Why isn't he being sent down to CCOT? They are sending Americans down there. So here's what has me concerned about this upcoming election that is first and foremost in the news these days. The Democrats. So we're 2 years into this administration, right? Or a year and a half, actually. This year, in November, as Americans, are supposed to go to the polls and vote for senators and House of Representatives and Congress people and all, the little guys, the people that basically run our country, are supposed to be running our country. And they were talking about having ICE agents at these polling places to make sure that it was a fair election. They're again talking about mail-in ballots are a hoax. They're fake. They shouldn't even be allowed. What happens in November? And now they're even starting to talk about foreign countries affecting our voting, the way that we vote. Remember when Carpathia lost to Biden? And he called up Georgia to say that he needed over 11,000 votes in order to win, and he was looking for those votes. What if he decides to rig the election to make it so that it's only Republicans that are in Congress and the Senate and the House of Representatives? He's talking about everybody else rigging it. What if he has plans to do that? Should we even vote at all? I've often thought that voting was kind of a waste of time, because it seems like every time I voted for somebody, they never won. And they were favored to win, and it went to the other person. So here's what I suggest. Same thing I suggested in January and February. Do your research on your local people that are up for election. From the mayor to the governor to people that are sitting in Washington, D.C., making choices for you. Don't listen to what they have to say. Don't listen to what their opponents have to say about them. All the mudslinging. You know that's going to happen. Go and do your research. Look at their own resumes. Look at what they've done or not done for our country if they're up for re-election. Have they improved this country or have they not? People that are looking to get into office, into this administration, that may never have been in a political office. Do your research and find out what they stand for. Are the things that you find important to them? They talk about MAGA, Make America Great Again, originally said by Ronald Reagan. Remind you of that. How is what this administration is doing making America great again? If Carpathia thinks that America has never been great, then how can he make it great again? Why is he using our tax money to build a ballroom we will never be in? To put gold in the Oval Office? To put his name, which has now been removed, to the Kennedy Center? To closing down the Kennedy Center? To redoing the reflecting pool? Why should we foot the bill for things that we will never use? What about the wall? Remember that? That he was going to build this great wall between us and China, or us and China, yeah. Us and Mexico, and Mexico was going to pay for it, and then it turns out, well, we still need this wall built, so we're going to build it anyway, and we're going to make the Americans pay for it. Yeah. Exactly. And whatever happened to Greenland? Did we ever go over there? I haven't looked into that. So anyway, I am going to shut up now, but I'm giving you food for thought. If you start getting calls from people that are working for those that are running, I suggest that you tell those people that you will not talk to them. But if their candidate that they're working for really wants your vote, ask for a meeting with the candidate themselves. If they really care about getting your vote, they will take time out of their schedule to meet with you and discuss with you their views on what you find important. Hey, I met with a representative from my state about these ICE deals. Unfortunately, not much came of that meeting because a lot of the stuff said, he told me that I had to go to my congressperson. Never did that because after that point, then things started changing for the better. That's when they brought Tom Homan in, and Greg Bavino was out, and then things started calming down. So I thought. But yeah, these two shootings that happened in Houston and Maine, those were the 8th and 9th shootings by ICE that ended up in death. Well, maybe not shootings. Some of them died in prison for lack of medical attention that they needed. Do your research. Talk to these people that are running for office and ask them, do you find these topics that I find important, do you find them important? What are you going to do about this? My topics, you're wondering? Homelessness, puppy and kitty mills, bullying, gun violence. It's not the guns that you need to worry about. It's not the NRA. It's the lack of mental help that these people need. Connect the dots with all of these shootings, these mass shootings, on what the shooter was going through. These people all had mental problems. They were all on antidepressants of some sort, or anti-anxiety medication. Pills are not the way. Getting help is. Shoving pills down your throat is not the way. So it's not the guns you got to look at. It's the people behind the guns. So anyway, thank you for joining me today. Glad I was able to give you a shout out if I did. Please leave your comments below. And relief is coming from this heat wave. I promise you. It's starting to cool down a little bit after today. So thank you for joining me today, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Have a sunny day.